What's going on? It's your boy Chuck Johnson, a.k.a. Kid Thunder. Back again with another video for you. So, this is my opinion on socialism, because I know I've done videos like this in in plenty of my videos. You know, I've called out politicians and celebrities and anybody else who favored socialism. But I'm just going to tell you straight from the heart what my opinion on socialism really is. Because obviously, people my age group, I'm in my 30s, and even younger, you got the Gen Zs who obviously thinks that it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. But here we go. Now, people would define, some people who have a brain, they would define socialism as, in a nutshell, like the literally of taking one, pretty much like taking somebody else's hard work, so you can have it. Pretty much, taking something what's, being paid by somebody who goes to work for a living, like I do, who busts their tail to work, just so they could, get a paycheck every week or two, support their family or what have you. But nowadays, you got politicians, primarily politicians on the left, you know, who are all in favor of socialism. I mean, not too long ago, you got Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders, by the way, who's in the lead in the primaries. Basically he's a known socialist, and he supports socialism too. And just recently he was talking about, you know, he was giving praise to freaking Fidel to what Fidel Castro did, and there's been some backlash that's been going on. Now, I will say this: I would think I obviously do feel that socialism is a bad idea for America. You know, America, we got a country to save. In November of 2020, we have a country to save. So, if you support any Democrat, if you vote for any Democrat, um, right now, which by the way, every Democrat, you know, support, you know, with what they support, you're literally going to support the socialist and communist agenda. The problem here is this: what I find wrong with socialism is that, okay, the rich will get the rich will get poor, and people who go to work every single day, to make ends meet. I mean, to make ends meet, they will get even poorer. You know, and even people who are struggling, trying to look for work, they will also, get really poor. And the only people who will really get rich is the politicians who you vote for. You know, it's the politicians who you support. It's and these mainly Democratic politicians. The far left ones. I don't know any Republican ones that support socialism, but if they are, yeah, because there are. Believe it or not, there are some Republicans who do support socialism too. But yes, I don't want go. I don't know about you, but time and time again, I've said it in plenty of videos that I've made in my political ranting series. I've said I want government to leave me the hell alone. You know, I don't want nothing. I don't want anything that's government funded or government controlled. Let me be somebody who is all about trying to lift myself up, you know, make a living out of myself. But I know I'm still rambling along. But keep in mind, this is an opinion venue. And I just want to say this. I do feel that November 2020 is going to be very crucial because you know we currently have a President Donald Trump, who is doing a lot of good things here in America. Believe it or not. You know, unless if you're a leftist who just follows the mainstream media's rhetoric and don't know how to think for yourself. I mean, there's it's been pretty good prosperity. This country has been prosperous since Trump got elected, since Trump got in office. But if we're gonna end up voting a Democrat in office come November 2020, we're reversing that prosperity, and it's going to end up to be a tragedy. It's going to be a travesty that a Democrat would get in come 2020. I mean, look at the workforce. You know, but I'm but the problem with socialism. There's been countries in the past, Cuba, Venezuela, USSR, which is now Russia. When they let socialism, when they favored socialism, their countries ran into deep shit. You know, their countries became quote unquote shithole countries. Um, to the point where you had to figure, you know, people like left these areas out just so they could find better living. You know, they and if you favor socialism, if America favors socialism, literally every other country is going to take over. You know, and isn't it enough that we already? You're talking about the high cost of rent being at extremely unaffordable levels. You're talking about look at Venezuela. It's so bad there. You got to worry about getting toilet paper to wipe your butt with after you took a dump. I don't want to sound vulgar, but that's what it is. You know, if you're going to favor socialism, it's not a good idea. because when because the bottom line is this: when it comes to saying free stuff this and free stuff this, you know, for those who want to talk about free college, uh, mainly the millennials and Gen Zers who want to talk about free college, that stuff ain't really free. Because at the end of the day, you and I are still paying. You and I are still paying for it. When you're talking about getting your student loans erased by the government, you're still paying for it. You and me. So that's all I have to say. That's my opinion on socialism. What are your thoughts? What are your comments on it? I'm Chuck Johnson, a.k.a. Kid Thunder.